What's up, guys? Jeff here, Grid City Fitness and Performance, and today I want to answer a question that I frequently get about what is the most optimal way for you to train based on your specific goal. Now, when we program our training, we're programming for a specific stimulus and specific end outcome. Now, when you guys go into these workouts, you sometimes will adjust the stimulus based on what you feel you want to just do that day. However, the training and design of the program is meant to be done specifically for the intended reason. Now here, I'm going to explain a couple different rep schemes and reasonings so you have a better understanding of how to adjust your program or adjust your workouts when you're in training with us to see the results that you are intending for. Okay? So, first, I want to talk about rep schemes. Rep schemes are very important because each rep scheme kind of breaks down or gives a stimulus for a specific need. So first, I want to talk about reps 1 through 3. So, if we're working in reps of 1 to 3, now when I say reps of 1 to 3, this means that they are very, very challenging, they're heavy, they're around the intensity level of a 90% or higher, so I'll put that up. So if we're working in rep ranges of 1 to 3 with a 90% intensity or higher, this doesn't just mean I'm fatigued and I'm doing 1 to 3 sets. This means I'm doing a 1 RM deadlift or 1 RM back squat or 10 sets of 3, bench press, something like that, or 10 sets of 3 heavy 3 rep max chin-ups, right? If I'm doing that with an intensity level of 90% or higher, I'm going to be in what would be considered a strength phase. So, what I'm mainly getting from this rep scheme is going to be overall body strength. Now, it's not going to put on a lot of muscle size. It will put on a lot of muscle size. However, it's not built for muscle building or bodybuilding. It's intended for building maximal strength. Now, when we go from reps 4 to 8 with around a 70 to 90% intensity, when we're looking at 4 to 8 reps with about a 70 to 90% intensity level, we're in what would be more of a muscle phase. Okay, so this is going to be more of a bodybuilding rep scheme. This is going to be something that's going to help increase muscle strength as well as increase muscle size. The reason for this is because of time under tension, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but it's time under tension, stimulus, contraction, and rep schemes. Okay, from there, we've got things from about 9 to 15 reps. This is going to be anywhere between about 50 to 70% intensity levels, challenging. Again, when I'm using intensities and challenging and percentage work, it doesn't mean I'm getting fatigued and it's challenging or anything like that. It means if we were to do this fresh, the intensity levels are between 50 to 70 or 70 to 90. This is going to be more of a fat loss or metabolic so I'm just going to put fat loss, right? It's going to be more under a fat loss stimulus. So you're training the muscle, you're using something challenging, but you're getting more of a fat loss response for it. The heart rate is going to be slightly elevated. Your body is going to be more fatigued and taxed after the reps due to increased time under tension. You're going to be needing a little bit more rest time typically if you've trained hard in this rep scheme. This is usually where we program a good amount of our movements for the general population because the fat loss stimulus, okay? Now, we do throw each one of these components in to get an optimal response in training. However, when you see these on the board, understand why they're there. Now, after the 9 to 15 reps, we're in the fat loss. We're basically going to say Anything there's kind of a gap between the 15 to 20, I know, but anything above 20 reps or so, 20 plus reps, is usually going to be more in a muscle endurance. This is going to be to increase overall ability for the body to stay under tension, to train under long durations, do multiple reps under almost a fatigue set. So again, anything above 20 reps or so. Now these are general, but I'll kind of explain how you can manipulate them as well. But again, 1 to 3 reps at a 90% intensity or higher, you're going to be more working for strength components. Everything from about 4 to 8 reps with about 70 to 90% is going to be working more of a muscle stimulation. So size, strength, that kind of stuff. Anything between 9 to 15 reps at about 50 to 70%, we're looking for more of a fat loss response, slightly higher in metabolic demand. Overall time under tension is going to be greater. And then anything with 20 plus reps, we're looking at more muscle endurance, cardiovascular or muscle strength, muscle endurance training. Okay. Now, looking at these though, we also want to look at time under tension, which if you've paid attention, I've mentioned a few times. If we look at 1 to 3 reps, the total time under tension there is about anywhere between 4 to 10 seconds at max. Okay, so if we're looking for a strength response, we can also look at, instead of just reps, time under total tension of movement. Anywhere between 4 to 10 seconds is going to be more of a strength, 1 RM to 3 rep lift. The time under tension is very low, so it doesn't have a lot of muscle demand besides optimal strength. Okay, when we're looking at 4 to 8 reps, we're looking at about 15 to 25 seconds. That's the total time under tension for those movements. Sometimes it's a little bit higher, anywhere up to 15 to 35 seconds optimally for 4 to 8 reps there. And again, that's why the muscle is going to be more under demand for a pump and contraction, and it's going to help with muscle strength and size. Now, from there, we've got the 9 to 15 reps, which is going to be fat loss. We're looking for that rep scheme anywhere between about 35 seconds of time under tension to about 60 seconds. Now, 60 seconds is really pushing it, but we're looking at about 40 seconds to 60 seconds of total time under tension. And that, again, is why it helps more with the fat loss. And then everything above 20 reps is typically 60 seconds or longer of total movements. That's going to give more an endurance phase. If you do anything for a high intensity or a lot of reps for 1 minute, you're going to be fatigued. Your body's going to be under what would be more considered endurance. Okay, so let's go back one more step. Time under tension. What that means is the less time under tension, in a sense, the easier. Okay, so if I had this little book and I raised my elbow to here and I held this for a minute, in this case, this is really light. However, the total time under tension would start to fatigue my muscle. Now, if I held this book here for 10 minutes, I'm going to be more fatigued because of the time under tension holding this movement. Now, if I was supposed to hold this for 2 hours, even though the book weighs next to nothing, the total time under tension is going to tax and fatigue my muscles, which is going to cause me to fatigue out. Okay? So that is what time under tension means. So when you're looking for a response from your training, look for those time under tensions as well as around the rep schemes designed for the specific outcomes. Now, when you have a program, let's say we have something like 50 reps and then 30 reps and then 10 reps, the goal here is to do something that's going to, one, get the endurance off the first phase, some sort of stimulation of metabolic demands for the endurance and fat loss phase during the next reps, and then we're looking for a muscle activation and fat loss phase for the third tier of reps. Now, don't just do the reps because you want to, but do them for the specific person that you're going for. If your intent is to lose weight, try and spend more time under tension. Slow down your movements a little bit more if we have rep schemes that are in the lower end. That will help improve the time under tension, give your body more demand, and help you lose fat. If you're looking to increase weight or increase muscle size or muscle strength, maybe drop some reps or make the movements heavier to where they really challenge your percentage of perceived challenge, and keep the time under tension a little bit less. So you might be able to put more reps in less time, which would still give you a muscle style demand. Okay, so hopefully this kind of explains a little bit about rep scheme design, perceived intensity, outcomes for reps, as well as how to understand time under tension. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just comment below and I'll make sure to answer those for you. But hopefully this can start helping you implement these strategies into your training to where when you come in and see something on the board, you know what the intended demand or expectation of the workout is, as well as how you can modify it slightly to get a better outcome by using a varied rep scheme, depending on your goals, as well as changing the total time under tension, either shorter or less, for your specific outcomes and goals.